In baby steps 1 through 3, you're working hard for your money. But in these next baby steps, I'll show you how your money's gonna work hard for you. All right, I'm so excited to wrap up the last part of our series on Ramsey's 7 baby steps today, which, by the way, has been so much fun. Okay, in this episode, we're going to talk through the 4 remaining steps. And spoiler alerts, we have 2 of my very favorite people coming on this episode. Dave Ramsey and Chris Hogan, yes, to show you how to build wealth and never worry about money again. Now, in case you missed the last few episodes, let's quickly go over baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Baby step 1 is your starter emergency fund of $1,000. Baby step 2 is paying off all of your debt but your house using the debt snowball. And baby step 3 is bumping up that starter emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in the bank for a fully funded emergency fund. All right, the 4 steps that we're gonna walk through today, they're the whole reason why you made all the crazy sacrifices you did in the first 3 steps. These next steps are the reason you haven't seen the inside of a restaurant. It's why you've eaten rice and beans, you picked up the extra jobs you have, you've had hard conversations with your spouse, you've told your kids no. It's all for this next season right here. So you took care of your past with baby steps 1 and 2. You took care of your right now with baby step 3. And now it's time to set yourself up for success in the future with baby steps 4 through 7. Listen, have you guys ever done the face app where you're like, you look really old? Well, this next step is about your old wrinkled selfie thanking you for your current self. Yes, because guess what? 65-year-old you, yeah, she didn't want to work. She's raised babies. She's worked hard. Now she can do whatever she dang well pleases. That's right. Baby step 4 is all about retirement investing. So you want to invest 15% of your income into retirement. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this baby step.
Hey, are you rolling? Dude, roll the camera. All right, listen to me. I just hijacked the Rachel Cruze show. I'm so excited. She's out getting a snack or something. I locked the door. She's barricaded out. She can't come back. I have you for just a few minutes, but I want to talk to you all about something. Baby step number 4. This is a big deal. This is your opportunity to start to fund your dreams. Have you ever thought about that? See, most people use 401ks and 403bs, all these fancy acronyms, but at the bottom of it, we're talking about your dreams, the things that you want to do for yourself and your family in the future. So, baby step number 4 is to invest 15% of your income. You have to invest. Listen to me. If you don't invest, you won't have any money to spend later. You need to think about that. And a lot of people will say, well, Chris, Social Security will save the day. No, it's not. Okay, you have to make sure that you're providing for yourself. If Social Security is there, I want you to think of it as the icing on the cake, but not the cake. That means you've put money away for yourself and your family. So you want to be intentional. Remember, you don't do this baby step until you already got yourself out of debt, you build up your fully funded emergency fund, and now you can do this. Most people are spending 24 to 25% of their income on debt. Well, you got your money back by getting out of debt. So now you can invest. So you want to sit down with a SmartVestor Pro. I know Rachel's told you about them. Sit down, talk with them, have them review your 401k or your 403b and get started. Now, you also have other options where you can invest. Roth 401ks, Roth IRAs. Whenever you hear the word Roth, I want you to get a tingling. Okay, look, I just got the goosebumps because it means tax-free. It means the money that you put in is gonna grow tax-free. Uncle Sam can't touch it. Wait, was that Rachel? Keep the door locked, I'm not done. Okay, listen to me. So you invest for your future, stay intentional, and you can do this. And remember, as you invest this money, don't ever touch it. You have an emergency fund. This is about your dreams. And don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't chase your dreams and grab it. As I tell people on my show, you stay focused because you're not finished.
Well, Hogan hijacked baby step 4, so it looks like I'm now gonna walk you through baby step 5. And baby step 5 is to save for your kids' college. So you do this so that your kids don't turn into another sad student loan statistic that we see all over the news. So when you do this step, again, you're gonna do baby steps 4, 5, and 6 together. So 15% of your income is going to retirement, and then you're gonna be investing in your kids' college. So when you invest in your kids' college, I recommend an ESA, an educational savings account, or a 529 plan. Now, if you're wondering how much to invest, it's really gonna depend on your situation. So I don't have a recommended percentage or dollar amount because it's a personal decision and there's several factors that go into this. So how old are your kids? Do they plan on going to college? Are they gonna go to a 2-year school or a 4-year school or a trade school? What degree do they want? Are they gonna have to get a master's degree? I mean, like, there's so many factors that play into this. And so I know for Winston and I, like, we've made this a priority. We do the baby steps. I know you're shocked, but we do, yes. So we fund the girls' ESAs every year. So obviously, the earlier you can start investing in your kids' college, the better off you're gonna be. But that's not the case for everyone, again, depending on how old your kids are. Now, I've seen parents do 3 options when it comes to paying for their kids' college. One option is that your kids pay for everything. And you know what? That's okay. That is not child abuse. Because if you have kids going to college soon and you don't have money saved up, that's gonna be their option. And again, it's not bad. It's just the reality. Number 2, parents match what their kids put in. So their parents make them have a little skin in the game, which I kind of like, it's kind of good. Or number 3, parents pay for everything. So again, 3 different options you can look at when it comes to paying for your kids' college. So if you really want to get into the specifics of what's best for your family, I'll put a link in the show notes to connect you with an investing professional in your area. Now, one question I get a lot is, why don't I fund my kids' college before my retirement? Because my kids are going to go to college before I retire. Listen, you can be a little selfish here, okay? Because here's the deal. You are going to retire, no matter what. Like, it's gonna happen, okay? Your kids may or may not go to college, and there's 1,001 ways that they can pay for college. But there's only one way for you to retire. So you wanna put yourself first. Think about the plane analogy. When you're traveling with multiple kids, they always say put your mask on first and then your children's, okay? Because like, if you're done, you can't help them. And just like Southwest Airlines always says, if you have 2 kids, make sure to choose the one with the most potential first. I love that. Always makes me laugh. Okay, now if you have kids going off to college soon and you don't have time to invest, remember, choose a school that they can afford. Help them in this. Their school choice is huge. In-state tuition, community college. Go to a school they can afford. Apply for scholarships and grants, and then have them work. There is a way to go to college today without student loan debt. All right, coming up next, Chris Hogan is back, and without further ado, Dave Ramsey. Family is one of the most important parts of my life, and making sure everyone is taken care of is a top priority. That includes more than just meal planning, entertaining the kids, and taking care of all the day-to-day needs. That's why I recommend having life insurance. Now, when you're shopping for it, you might wonder, should I get term life insurance or whole life insurance? I always recommend term insurance. It's going to save you tons of money that you can put towards paying off your debt and funding your emergency fund. For a 30-year-old male, a 20-year, $250,000 policy would cost just $15 a month for term life. However, the same policy for whole life would be $190 per month. That is a huge difference. Winston and I use Zander Insurance. They do all the work for you by finding you the best prices and options customized to your needs. To learn more, call Zander today or go to Zander.com, because that's who we trust to take care of our family. All right, guys, we are on baby step 6 now, which is pay off your house early. Now, this is an exciting step. This is so fun, but what's hard is that you watching, you're probably still paying off your student loans, your credit cards, like you're in baby step 2. So baby step 6 may seem a little far out and it can be a little daunting, but I promise it is a great step and it's motivation because this is where you're going. This is the future. So when we look at baby step 6, Chris Hogan, Dave Ramsey, thanks y'all for being here.
Thank you.
You're just the experts in the whole area, so welcome. Glad you're here. So glad you're here. So a few things that I hear with people when they talk about paying off their house early is that they say, okay, I don't want to pay it off early because it's just not that big of a deal. But Hogan, you see that this is huge for specifically with millionaires, people that are everyday millionaires. This is a big step for them.
It really is. And Rachel, as you know, we did the largest study that's ever been done on millionaires. We talked to over 10,000 of them. And what we found is that these millionaires are very, very focused and very intentional. And they're paying off their home in just under 11 years.
Awesome.
So if you think about that, that's a massive move and a big step in their overall net worth.
Yeah.
So paying off the home is a huge step on your everyday millionaire journey.
Which is huge. So with your net worth, obviously, it makes a huge dent. But also with your monthly budget, like if you think about it, if you're 50 years old and you haven't paid for a house, the next 30 years of your life, you don't have a mortgage payment.
What would it be like to have no payments? I mean, no mortgage.
Nothing. Now, another myth I hear is that people say, well, I want to keep my mortgage because of the tax deduction. Right. And this is something that we combat all the time. And so what would you say? Well, how would you answer that, Dave?
Well, it's just silly. I mean, the math is ridiculous. And because if you take a $200,000 mortgage at 5% interest, well, that's $10,000 a year that you're sending in interest. Now, you can deduct that only if you itemize. And statistically, less than 10% of Americans itemize. So this is a mythological discussion among broke people, is what it amounts to. So it doesn't apply. You can't, in your standard deduction, you don't take the deduction for your charitable giving. You don't take the deduction with a standard deduction for your home interest rate. But if you did, or you had $10,000 in interest going out to the mortgage company, and you're in a 22% bracket, which means you're making like $80,000 household income, that saves you not $10,000 on your taxes. It's $10,000 less income that you pay taxes on. At 22%, that means it saves you $2,200 in taxes. So what you're effectively doing is you're sending the mortgage company $10,000 to keep from sending the government $2,200. And that's only if you itemize.
Yeah.
And that just shows how ridiculously stupid the idea is. You're trading a dollar for a quarter, and you're not going to get ahead doing that.
Right. Would you rather pay out $10,000 or $2,200? If you'd like to pay out $10,000, you can call me. We'll put my cell phone number at the bottom of the screen, and you can give me that. But yeah, it is. It's just the math.
I bet you would pay 5,000 other taxes.
Yeah, that's right. I would do half. But yeah, that's right. Okay, so baby step 6. It's a long process, right? Average was 11 years. So people are, at this point, they're completely debt-free, consumer debt. They have an emergency fund. They're funding kids' college, retirement. And then they're throwing anything extra they have at the house. And it can seem long and a little daunting as well. So
it kind of sneaks up on you.
Well, what's your motivation? Yeah, what do you say with
I think what's happening is you're chip, and then suddenly the wall falls. And you're like, whoa, that just happened. It kind of sneaks up on you because it is a little more gradual. You have all these celebration moments like, we paid off the credit cards, we paid off Sally Mae, we paid off the car. When you're doing your debt snowball, and then we got the debt snow. The first three baby steps are very emotional and very visceral. And this is more like the marathon.
Yeah.
But when you're running a marathon, you look up and you go, man, I'm halfway through. And, look over there. There's the yellow tape. We're going to make it and not die. And, these things occur, but it kind of emotionally sneaks up on you because it's incremental.
What do you see, Hogan, with millionaires specifically? Because I love that because it's people that have won, right? But what they do.
Well, bottom line is these millionaires are very intentional. They take personal responsibility, and they have a plan for their money. And so paying off the home is not an accident. It's a part of the plan.
Yeah.
Our culture is so used to buying homes. What we're trying to do is get people to think differently about owning it. And that means it's yours. You've removed the risk out of your life of having a payment, and now you have an opportunity to do more with that money, like giving or doing more things for yourself and your own financial future.
Yeah, so good. All right, that's baby step 6, paying off the house early. And next step, we're going to talk about the last Ramsey baby step, which is probably the most fun. Baby step 7, build wealth and give. But before we dive into that conversation, here is a really great clip from Financial Peace University that shows what this step is all about.
We are here to do more than just for ourselves. We're here to do for others.
Our focus has shifted from surviving to thriving.
But when I think about how much we've paid off in 7 years, and we tithed the whole way, it's mind-blowing that we had enough.
The process sort of unlocks that part of you that's a giver. By the way, it allows you to develop the means to be able to do more of it.
When you start to think of yourself as more than just a spectator in life, it's such a joyful feeling.
If you hold your money like this, none can get out, but no more can get in either. You go like this to God, it just flows so much you can't even hold it.
here I am, I'm giving money away, and I'm richer than I've ever been.
When I was working in the schools and I would see kids come in to eat breakfast, I started wanting to somehow branch out and do something with that to help these kids on the weekend. That's how I came at starting Blessings in a Backpack.
You start looking at money as a tool that you use. It's an asset that the Lord has given me. And I pray, please show me how I should use your resources, because it's not me anymore.
And now we have all this time to pour into ministries and people going overseas to spread the gospel.
Pack food for kids I don't even know, but I feel really great knowing that there's 24 kids that are being fed this weekend.
You know, with this generous act my parents have done for me, I really have to shift my mindset, you know, because before, when you don't have enough, you're always worried about, you know, taking care of yourself. What do I need to do to help myself? With this, it just shifts my mindset to transcending that. I have the ability to pay it forward in a way that other people maybe don't.
The amount of money that we're able to give and enjoy giving, it's more than I ever would have imagined. It's just amazing.
So you better be ready for the ride, because it's friggin' awesome. I totally love it.
All right, baby step 7. All that's left is to build wealth and give. And we cover this in Financial Peace University, and this is called outrageous generosity. And this is a fun step, you guys. Like, this is like where we get people. And you always say that it's like, it's an emotional step, because there's like all the hope that's accumulated. Like, this is what the plan is for.
We've lived like no one else. We paid the price to win. And our definition of winning then is you become debt-free so that you're able to build wealth. So you live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. And you can give like no one else. So I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. As a matter of fact, we were having a discussion, 40 years of marriage. And he was telling me that Ritz-Carlton now has a cruise line. I didn't know this. But he just booked a really nice cruise for his 40th anniversary.
Wow.
So he is living like no one else, and this guy is unbelievably generous. And you would never think he would spend money on himself in any way, but it's a very small percentage of his world, because his world is very big now.
I love it. And the giving aspect, it's incredible. And we always say it really is the most fun you can have with money. There's fun parts of changing your legacy and going on a nice cruise and all of that. But when you give, there's something in your heart that's just, it's different. It touches a different place in your life, giving does. Do you find that, Hogan, with the Everyday Millionaires?
It really does. And these Everyday Millionaires were very intentional in setting aside money each and every month to be able to give. So this wasn't an accident. This is in the fiber of who they are.
Yeah.
And we say that we're blessed to be a blessing. And so these millionaires have that same kind of mindset. Yes, they want to take care of their own financial future, but they're also trying to help others in all kinds of ways, at their church, at charities. And so it's just fantastic to be able to see that these people have the right kind of heart and the right kind of motivation.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah.
All right, it's fun. The Ramsey Baby Steps, they're complete. You end with living and giving like no one else. So before you guys leave, a question I always ask my guests are, what is something that you're doing with your money right now that's creating a life that you love? I can't wait to hear your answers. Because if yours is buying a new play set for your grandkids, I'd be okay with that. we need one.
Is she lobbying? Is she lobbying right now?
Live on camera. I decided to go there.
Full time.
I need proof.
What's she doing?
This goes on all the time.
My goodness.
But really, what are y'all doing? What are you doing right now? People are interested.
Hogan,
This
what are
is
you doing with your
interesting.
money?
Well, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm obviously preparing a legacy for my own boys, but being able to give. I mean, being involved in some areas out front, but also behind the scenes. I have to tell you, when you're able to give behind the scenes, no one knows, but I know. And so it's awesome to be able to see the impact of that.
Be
and so,
anonymous. It's
absolutely, it's fun.
That's good.
It's a lot
That's
of fun.
good.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Again, the giving, it is the most fun you'll ever have with money. And it's not just to pat ourselves on the back and say we're generous or something like that. It's just you work your tail end off, and we work. I mean, all three of us work hard. And we make good money, and we've gotten there. We've gotten to the point that we're, don't have house payments. We don't have this. We don't have that. And so we're able, there's margin in there to enjoy our money, but also to just catch somebody and just, we were in a little Mexican restaurant the other night. The food was amazing. And the lady, bussing the tables didn't speak English. And it was really fun to just pop a $100 bill on her on the way out. Just completely made her cry. It's just, let's have some fun like that.
So good.
Because she's the one that doesn't get noticed, The waiter that's all dancing in front of you, they're the they're the one that gets the tip, right?
Yeah.
But she's the one carrying the dishes in her back,
awesome.
and that kind of stuff. And nobody even knows she's there. She didn't speak a lick of English, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish. So, but you know what? We both spoke C note.
Yes. That's cool. That is cool.
She knows what that is.
Yes.
That's awesome. So great. Well, you guys, it's just been an amazing series, and I'm so glad that we've touched on every single baby step. But if you really want to dive into this, we've got a community of people just like you who are changing their lives, and they're just waiting for you. So you're able to connect with them, dive in deeper, make sure to sign up for a Financial Peace University class, and see your legacy start changing. Well, thank you guys both for being here. So fun. Thank you. Oh, they're just the best. Thank you, Dave Ramsey, old Papa Dave, and Chris Hogan for joining me. It's so fun because we teach this stuff every day, so it's always great to bring in the big guns for the baby steps. I hope that this episode shows you what is possible if you stick to a plan. And I have loved walking through the baby steps in this series with you. So thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't checked out the podcast version of the show, make sure you do that for some extra teaching. And make sure to subscribe to both YouTube and Facebook. And for more information on starting Financial Peace University or anything else that we've mentioned in the show, make sure to click the link in the show notes. And as always, make sure to take control of your money and create a life you love.